Welcome to another episode of Inspired Content, taste testing Christmas candies from the Dollar Tree. Well, most of them from the Dollar Tree. Some of them from the Dollar Tree. This one's going to be quasi-invisible in this form, but you can see it here and over here. Oh, not too bad over here. But this is a peppermint marshmallow in milk chocolate Santa. So, this is sort of cheating because I've had one of these before. More than a year ago, I think. These go fast. So, if you find where they are, get them because they're gone when you want them. And this one's pretty mashed up. So it's a chocolate covered Santa Claus. Sort of. I mean, as much as any of these things are any particular shape. It's got a marshmallow on the interior with some peppermint flavor to it. And that's amazing. And it's a very gooey marshmallow. And it's not like overkill peppermint. It's very much like an Andes mint. Like, peppermint can be too powerful for some things. And marshmallow covered chocolate, or chocolate covered marshmallow, it has a weakness in that it's so sugary that they're a bit much. But the peppermint gives it a different flavor, so it's not just whipped sugar covered in a sugary paste. Now, I'm not going to pretend this is a high-end chocolate. But it's not a cheap chocolate. I feel like if I were to do this gourmet, there's a little bit of a sugar rush there. I feel like if I were to make this more gourmet, I think I'd do the marshmallow just a tad denser, but thinner. So that's like a Malamar content-wise, without the cookie. And I feel like I would almost like to make like a marshmallow fluff. Make a thin layer of... I want to do like a dark chocolate. like a 60 to 70% dark chocolate. Spread a thin layer of mint fluff, and then sandwich the top with another thin layer of dark chocolate, and then maybe dip the whole thing so that it's coated. Because you don't need that whole fluff ball in the middle, although there is some enjoyment out of the squishiness of it. But it doesn't, this is too soft to have that spring to it. One of the things I used to do, don't really do it much anymore, is when going to gatherings, get a bag of marshmallows and a packet of Andes mints. And you rip the marshmallow in half, put the Andes mint in the middle, so when you bite into it, there's that springy mush of the marshmallow right before you get that snap of the mint chocolate in the middle. Now if you were to reverse that and almost do like an Oreo cookie, but instead of cookie, you do that Andes mint style snapping chocolate with a little bit of that mush in the middle, and then another cookie piece or chocolate piece. I would go for that. I'm not sure what the right thickness on that marshmallow layer would be, though. To get that mush, that springy mush, it's not just a soggy smush. Because you could feel something like that with a this something similar consistency to like a caramel filled. But the point of a marshmallow is to have that whipped, spongy portion to it. And when I make homemade marshmallows, my homemade marshmallows tend to have enough bounce to them. They're much more like I saw like a stupid marketing gimmick where there were gourmet marshmallow constructions, and they were called, I think they called them like European style or Dutch style marshmallows, and they were denser. The air bubbles weren't huge air pockets inside this marshmallow. It didn't look so much like a chocolate mousse as it looked you maybe could isolate some air spotting, but it was so evenly distributed. And the squeezing, if you squeeze them, they had a denseness. It's a cross between what we're used to as marshmallows and marshmallow fluff. Like that was much closer to a fluff than even a campfire marshmallow. But like a campfire marshmallow is much more bouncy than that. And the homemade or gourmet ones that I've had before are even denser than that. Bordering on a whipped gummy is really what it is. Like a gummy candy, if you were to aerate that, that's very similar to what I'm looking at. If you put a little bit of that in the middle of one of these, I feel like you could do like a ratio. Chocolate 1, marshmallow 2 to 2.5, chocolate 1. Yeah, I think that would probably be where I'd settle on. And I don't think you need to dip it to seal it all in. Although I can see biting into it and just having that not quite ooze, because it's too dense. If you do it right, it would be too dense to ooze out. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it right now. Thanks for joining me for this one. I will catch you in the next one, and until then, keep playing with your food.